You know, when guys are on the court out there, and I've asked a number of the guys this, are you guys talking stuff to each other when you're out there playing and competing?
Sometimes.
The rest of the scrimmage. All right, let's see. Put your hands on me.
And some of it, I think, is that he emulated some of the things that MJ did as well, because MJ was a terror in practice.
Yeah, he's hard on guys.
He was hard on his teammates.
Yeah.
It was the first time, you know, you look at somebody and you can't tell if he's looking at you. Like, he's looking dead at me, but I'm like, I don't know if he sees me. I think I'm just, like, not relevant enough for him, but he couldn't see me, and I felt it.
You know what I mean? And when you want to talk about the swagger, oof, I mean, Kobe had it. But as a competitor, I knew that Kobe was the one for me that I had. If I wanted to be great, that I had to get on the level of Kobe Bryant.
The entire crowd was watching him, you know? Like, that's the reach that he had.
Tech, he had a great game.
Did you?
He just went off the whole fourth quarter.
Every once in a while,
you would see flashes.
Yeah, then he would say some shit. Then the whole room was like.
I still couldn't stop it, and I knew what he was about to do over and over and over again. You know, and that's a part of his greatness, man.
Yeah, look at him.
You know what? That's
loves this time, relishes it, and he and Gerald Wallace are having a conversation. That's Kobe and Gerald Wallace going at each other while Kobe's on the free throw line. Gerald's still talking to him. They're still talking to him. They're still having a conversation. As Kobe's about to shoot the biggest free throw of the night. 3-point game. 4.8 to play.
The stories, I remember at USA Basketball, first practice, you know, he was like, he looked like, I don't want to say old, but he looked like, I was like, man, am I seeing like the end, you know, it's like he's starting to decline. I didn't tell anybody that, I would never say that out loud. But I was just thinking that in my head, you know, because he just wasn't moving, you know, as well as he was. He's missing a lot of shots. Middle of summer, so whatever. But then I found out he had gone on like a 40-mile bike ride at like 11 p.m. that night. Got in at like 2 a.m. and then he was in the weight room when I got down there at 7:30. So, you know, it was funny to me, very fitting to me. That was like in my head. I was too scared to say it to anybody else, but I was like, man, am I seeing like the decline? I was like, oh no, he's just worked out for 40 hours straight.
I heard a story about early on in your career.
I remember I had hit somebody hit a shot, put us up like 1. They called a timeout in front of our bench. This motherfucker walked past our bench while we was in the huddle, said, "You left me too much time." Came out, hit the fucking game winner, right? So I was like, man. So after the game, I talked to him. He was like, damn, man, my bad. You know, blah blah blah.
That's what's up. That's a crazy ass story. That's what's up.
Yeah, I don't think I never told that. Yeah.
But I swear to God, that was him when you said it, because he done said that plenty of times. That shit was crazy.
Man.
We were in the Olympics, right? And this is when I knew Kobe was a monster, though. You hear about it, but you really, if you don't see it, you really, really don't know. And so we get into a city, one of the cities very late. And immediately we all go to the gym, you know. All my guys, it's Melo, it's me, it's Brian, it's Kobe. Like, we all go to the gym, we all get our work in. It's real late. And so after we get done getting our work in, me and my guys, we say, hey, like, let's meet for breakfast in the morning. Like, if you can't sleep, whoever first one wake up, hit us up, we're going to go eat. And so we do that. We probably get like 3 hours of sleep. You can't sleep much when you're traveling across the world, you know, like we were traveling. And we probably get like 3 hours of sleep, and we wake up, we go down to where the food is. As we walking down, you know, slubbing with sleep in our eyes, Kobe Bryant is sitting there with ice on his knees already, right? So we walk up to Kobe, we like, Kobe, what's up? And he was like, yeah, man, I just finished the workout, and I'm about to go do another one. And at that moment, I was like, wait, hold on. We just worked out about 3 hours ago. You know what I mean? And like, you've done another workout and you about to go do another one. That's when I was like, okay, I got to get my stuff together. I got to get my shit together. Because this dude right here is on a whole different level than even I'm on. And I'm supposed to be great, right? So that's the kind of person he was. And that's how he drove me. You know what I mean? Like, just little stuff like that. I went back and said, okay, that means I got to work hard and I got to do more. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little anecdote.
That's great.
He's a beast, man.
He had a lot of respect for guys who busted their butts, you know, every single day, being that they were very talented or not. But if you came to work every single day and you didn't bag down to him, because he would test you, You know, that's the one thing I loved about it. He would test guys in practice.
How would he test them?
Oh, elbowing them, talking to them, you know, telling them they can't guard him. You know, you got this guy out here, and this guy can't hold my jock. You know, but I mean, he would talk so much stuff, and he would really just to see how you're going to react to it.
Touch me the rest of the scrimmage. All right, let's put your hands on me.
You know, and some of it I think is that he emulated some of the things that MJ did as well, because MJ was a terror in practice.
Yeah, he's
he was hard on his teammates.
Yeah.
Fucking hard, you ain't got that fuck. You make what you make call. You know what? I got to spend you all day.
You know, and you know, even the last 2 years I had him here, you know, I wouldn't allow him to practice much, but there was days where he was like, well, B, let me just scrimmage. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So, you know, we're going to scrimmage at about this time. Come on back out, you know, get yourself back loose, and I'm going to let you scrimmage. And he would be in the scrimmage talking the whole time to guys, to Nick Young and to Jeremy Lins and Carlos Boozers, and I would sit there sometimes and say, guys, you not going to say nothing back?
What started that back and forth, though?
It was like a testing day for Kobe to test, like Jeremy Lin, test me, and test like Wesley Johnson and other guys. So like from the start, he was killing Jeremy Lin. Like I guess he wanted Jeremy Lin to be something he wasn't, but he was killing from the start of the practice. I don't know why we got him. Why is he here? He had one good year talking crazy, like, but during the practice, I'm up here like, Jeremy Lin, come on, man. We can't go out like this. We ain't going out like this. Good. Not today. I'm getting mad like, Jeremy Lin, come on, man. Kobe, y'all soft like Sherman. Oh, I can't even get better practicing with y'all.
And he would do it to just see which of these guys he could be in that foxhole with.
That's when I was like, all right, Cole, you talking too much. You can't guard me. Guard me. He was guarding Jeremy Lin. Guard me. Oh. Yeah, guard me.
Hey, that part.
Yeah, guard me. And then we start going back and forth. I said nobody in the world could guard me. Because Gil was teaching me.
Nobody in the world could Nobody in the world.
Because I said nobody in the world could guard me. He said, like, lucky I'm not from this world.
Damn, he good, bro. He too quick.
So we going back and forth. It was fun. Then the next day, you know, we won the game. And he was like praising us and all that type of shit.
I love when you waved them off. I think it was against the Spurs.
Yeah. That was the game. That was right after that.
Oh,
that was right after that. In the interview, I said...
But
I said
feel
something
like
about the Sherman tissue or something like that.
You know, from the yesterday practice, you know, Kobe talking all that trash kind of inspired me today. So, but
you soft like Sherman.
But I feel like crazy respect crazy. Like Nick's got that mentality.
Yeah.
That like, yo, I'm gonna still shoot. I'm gonna play my game, and Kobe understands that.
Yeah.
You know, which of these guys I can trust to have my back when I'm on the court?
It was a test.
It's a test.
Yeah.
And he was always, you know, testing guys in that way to try to find out, you know, which of these guys I can trust and go to battle with.
Now Young with two, lets it fly. It's good! Nick Young for three! And the Lakers lead with 7.4 remaining. Young's sixth triple of the night.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I just think at that point his body just didn't give him what he wanted.
I guarded Kobe in the Garden, which I can't remember how much he had, but I knew I had multiple steals against him to where in the game, in my head, all I'm thinking of is when I have this conversation with my brother after the game, how I'm going to tell him how I stole a ball from Kobe, how I stripped Kobe before he was going to take a shot, how I drove by Kobe and got a dunk. Like, I'm thinking about all these things in my head. I'm like so geeked.
I had my few steals against him. I thought I was killing it.
I was having that out-of-body experience. Like,
yes, like, let me appreciate this is amazing.
Like, we in the Garden, they going crazy. I got my player editions on. I just stole that thing from Kobe. Like, You know what I mean? Linsanity was going on. I'm like,
Was this the Friday night game in the Garden, the Linsanity game?
It might have been. Fourth quarter starts. And Kobe said, "You had a great game."
You had a great game, young fella.
Oh my God.
Said, "Yo, you had a great game, young fella." But I'm looking like, bro.
There's still another quarter.
I swear I looked at the clock like. But I'm looking like, nigga, it's 12 minutes. What you talking about? Like, what was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't said nothing the whole game. I've been talking shit. I done stole the ball. I'm hyped as hell. It's Kobe Bryant. He ain't said not one word to me. Great game, fella. You know, locked in. The man come down. You remember he came shot fake, threw it off the glass, caught it, threw it to the corner. I'm like, bro, what you on? Like, bro, you been regular all game. Shot, get to the spot, shot fake, spin, pivot over here, spin back on the foot, drop it off the glass. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Then he pulled up from like 35 feet on some Steph Curry shit before Steph was doing that. He pulled up and laced it. I'm like, they called a timeout. Dan Tony looking at me. I'm like, bro, I'm like, bro, I guard everything, bro. Nah, bro, I guarded the first two moves. He ain't supposed to have a third counter like that. Like, bro, I stopped the first one, stopped the second one, bro. The third one wasn't on the film. Yeah, it wasn't on the film, bro. I don't know what that is.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I thought that was a travel. His feet shouldn't even be able to move. Like, one point he just dribbled up, just picked a spot and just shot it dead in my face. Like, everything I was doing, I was just like, and I'm thinking in my head, damn, that whole good game I thought I was having is just gone. I just speak to Kobe for another 2 years.
Oh my God.
My Kobe story is we were in the player lounge. There was a couple of us, and we were playing spades. And he kind of came in, and we were drinking a little wine, playing some spades, just chilling. And he came in, sat down, poured himself a glass, and he was kind of like reading a paper. So this is 2008. So they had just lost to the Celtics in the finals, tragically, if memory serves. And so he opens up the paper, and there's this article about it, and there's a picture of Paul Pierce. So I see it. We kind of are, and it's Kobe Bryant. Listen, it's 2008. We're all sitting there. Fucking Kobe Bryant sits down and pours a glass of wine. We're like, what the fuck, And then we look over, and he's tearing out the picture of Paul Pierce. So he cuts it out, and he folds it up. He puts it in his pocket, and we're all looking at him. What's going on? He's like, motivation. We're like, cool. And then he proceeded to chug his wine, pour another glass, chug it, pour the third, and he was basically he looks over and he's like, now I'm one ahead of you guys. We were like, okay.
That is great. That is such a great story. So when I hear those stories about Kobe, and I hear them from so many people, I'm like, yo, was he really was some of it performance art? Some of it was I've gotta live up to this reputation. Who does that? Could he have not torn that piece of paper out in his own room and put it in his pocket? He wanted someone to know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Jordan's with the Washington Wizards, and they play in Washington. Jordan beats Kobe, so they already knew what was coming. So then the Wizards came to Los Angeles to play.
Hey, they was like, yeah, I feel sorry for next time we play Jordan.
Kobe scored 42 points in the first half.
Wearing that distinctive headband out to Kobe. 5 on the shot clock. Kobe a low. Kobe looking in the corner instead, stops the baseline, squares up.
23 consecutive points scored by Kobe. 30 points in the game. That was a nice looking shot.
Pull up jump against Kwame Brown. Crossover. Pull up jump shot. Good again. You better take a timeout.
And scored 55 points in that game.
They said they already knew what was about to happen against MJ when MJ came to LA.
Wow.
And they said, sure enough, Kobe went out and that motherfucker said, it wasn't. He didn't even have to tell the team. Once they heard what happened, is what Kobe decided to do.
On Jordan.
Which a lot of people don't say.
He had 42 in the first half.
Yeah. Gave him 55.
Bro, you could see Mike's face in the end. Now that explains it.
But they said
Mike with the towel.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was what was told to him.
Yeah. He's a psycho.
That's what I said. He's a psycho. That's what was told to him.
Do you remember the reality show, The Real World?
Yes.
That used to be on MTV?
Yeah.
Kobe was a rookie.
Arn was my agent as well, and I was the elder statesman of the firm. And Arn called me up and was like, you know, do you mind talking to this young kid and show him what the NBA is all about and how to conduct yourself? I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll talk to this kid.
We were set to play a game of basketball versus the real world cast. It was shot in Hollywood, and all I remember is Gail continuing to say to me, look, when you guys get there, you're going to get there before the cast of Real World. All Kobe wants to do is play you one-on-one. He just wants to play you one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. I'm like, look, I'm 10 years in. This is 96, 97 year that summer. So he had 1 year in. So I'm 10 years in. I'm not going to play this young cat one-on-one. I'm like, all right, I'll play a soft game of one-on-one versus him, but our focus should be going against the real world cast. So we get there, and we're playing soft one-on-one, and, you know, I'm doing my step-back jumper. I know you've alluded to this before. And he's like, how do you do that move? And, I kind of show him because I was trying to take things from him as well. He had this killer crossover. I'm like, well, how do you do that? So we're exchanging our go-to moves.
Well, a conversation turned into text messages and phone calls every day. Because, like you said, he was gathering information.
We reached the Bulls in the conference finals, and he was like, so what was it like going against Jordan?
He wanted to be bigger than life. And at that time, that person bigger than life, and still is Michael Jordan. And I didn't have a very strong relationship with MJ. But Kobe wanted to know what was all the intricate talking and trash talking and moves that were going on between MJ and I.
What did you do? Like, what were your game plans? What was this? I was like, man, that black cat, there was no answer for him, man. We tried this, we tried that. That black cat was doing this and that.
And I'm thinking to myself, what does this kid want to know about all this MJ talk for? There's only one black cat, because I referred to call Michael Jordan or Jordan. I always called him the black cat. It's like the black cat was, we were doing this, and I'm talking to Kobe. And I'm like, Kobe. He's like, you know what?
Like, you know what? Well, you better get ready for the caramel cat because he's coming. So before the Black Mamba, his nickname was the Caramel Cat.
I'm thinking, this young 17-year-old, I'm talking about the greatest ever. He says, you're going to refer to me as the Caramel Cat.
That's how much confidence he had back then. This is like 1 year into it. He's like, well, you better forget the black cat. You better get ready for the caramel cat because he's coming.
And I thought about it. I'm like, fast forward 2 or 3 years later, it was 2-1. And then game 4 that you mentioned, you fouled out. I'm thinking, you already had 50 and 25. Great.
That's a loose ball foul on Shaq. That'll be number 6. What a big play.
3 years later in the NBA Finals, that same move that I was showing him in my step back, he hit in game 3 after Shaq fouled out.
Reggie Miller, the marquee matchup we talked about. Look at Reggie Miller squaring him up. These two guys played one-on-one all summer in L.A. Kobe takes it between his leg. He pulls it back, hits the jumper, and then sort of gives it, take your time. Everything's cool.
As he's running down the court, pats me on the butt and says, you never should have showed me that step back. I'm going to kill this young kid. I'm going to kill this young kid.